Hello everybody, welcome to Dad's Read Along Stories. My name is Josh, I'm a dad. This is my son, Charlie. And today we're going to be reading Curious George, Tadpole Trouble. And I have a question for you. Do you know what the word curious means?
No.
You don't know? Curious means you are eager to learn something or know something. So Curious George wants to know a lot of things. Do you know what a tadpole is? You don't know? Well, we're going to learn. Let's read Curious George, Tadpole Trouble together. Okay, Curious George is this monkey right here. You know him, right? He's an awesome monkey. George was exploring a lake with his friend Bill. George was a good explorer, and he was always very curious. Remember, that means he wants to know something. He was especially curious about tadpoles. Bill told George he could be in charge of the tadpoles they found. George took tadpole watching very seriously. He watched them swim in their glass bowl. He fed them boiled lettuce. He took them for a swim in the lake. At the time, it seemed like good exercise for tadpoles. So these little guys are the tadpoles right here. These little they kind of look like fish, right?
Yeah.
But you don't know what they turn into?
Frogs.
Oh, you know. He knows. But don't spoil it. Don't tell him. We'll find out. When the tadpoles did not come back, George started to worry. What would Bill say? He had to find them. So he dumped them out and he can't find the tadpoles because they swam away. George spent hours at the lake. He found turtles and water beetles and minnows, but no tadpoles. Every time George would visit the lake, he would look for the tadpoles. Several weeks went by. Finally, he found something that looked like a tadpole, but it had legs and almost no tail. So George let it go. What's that? It's like turning into something. A frog? We'll find out. A few weeks after that, George took a walk in the city to think about his tadpole problem. He was going back to the lake soon, and Bill would be very disappointed if George had lost the tadpoles. George walked so long, he found himself in front of the museum. He saw a butterfly that reminded him of being at the lake, so he followed it. The butterfly flew into the museum, and George kept following past all kinds of exhibits. There was a special display about creatures that live around lakes. George knew about many of them, like turtles, minnows, lizards, and tadpoles. Tadpoles! The picture of the baby tadpole reminded him of his own tadpoles. Next to it was one of the funny creatures that George had seen at the lake. It had legs and a smaller tail. Now he understood. The creatures with legs were the tadpoles. His friends had not vanished, they were just changing and growing up. George was so excited. He left the museum without finishing the exhibit tour. As soon as George got back to the lake, he looked for his missing friends, especially the little ones with little legs and almost no tails. But they were not there either. This time George could only find frogs. Lots and lots of frogs. What is going on? What a good idea, George, Bill said, seeing the empty jar. You decided to release the tadpoles into their natural habitat so you could watch them grow into frogs. You're not only curious, you're smart too. Let's take a picture of you and the frogs together, George. Smile. Can you smile? That's a funny smile. Smile better. And now we have a little picture of the life of a frog. Here are the main stages of a frog's life, out of order. Number them 1 to 4. This is number 1, right? The eggs. And then what's number 2? What do they turn into after the eggs? Yep, the tadpole. Then what? Tadpole with legs. Yep. And then what? Frog. Good job, Charles. And then you can make your own butterfly here, too. That's kind of cool. The end. Thank you guys for reading Curious George. Tadpole Trouble. What did you think? You like that one?
Yeah.
That was a good one. The tadpoles turn into frogs, and George learns all about it. Are you going to be curious, too, and learn about stuff? That's awesome. Are you leaving? Okay. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much. And we'll see you next time when we read more books. Bye.